All right. And we should be live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Coaster Maniacs, and welcome to a very special interview. We are here with former WWE superstar Carlito. How you doing, man?
Good man, how you guys doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, first off, thank you for taking time out of your day to sit here and talk to us.
Oh, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, so let's start. Everybody in the chat's going nuts. So going back to your debut, like way before then, uh, what started it all? Like, what made you get into wrestling?
Well, pretty much, I guess, family tradition. You know, it was already in my blood. You know, my dad runs this promotion in Puerto Rico, and I just decided to every little job you could do within that promotion, and the obvious next step was become wrestler.
Yeah, and you started off as a cameraman, right?
Started off as a ring crew, then I worked in the canteen. I was a beer hawker, then a cameraman, and then wrestler.
Because I did a little bit of research. If it's true, you can never know with Wikipedia anymore. But you did before the Apple came along. You had an actual weapon of choice, correct?
Shovel,
The
the old
shovel,
shovel was my
yes,
weapon
the
of choice. Yeah,
shovel. You went from a shovel to an apple. I mean,
I went from a bald head and a shovel to a big afro and an apple.
everybody's going crazy in the chat. They're just spamming Carlito. How'd you manage this? Hey, you gotta be cool to talk to Carlito, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, your debut in WWE, first time out there, you're going with John Cena in Boston, Massachusetts. What were you? What was your thoughts going through right before the music hit? Going out there.
We're going way back.
Oh yeah, way back.
I was trying to think. Yeah, just just excited to get out there and prove what I could do, especially against John Cena, who at that point was the rising star in the business. Everybody could see that he was going to be what he became.
Yeah, because you were challenging for the WWE United States Championship that night too.
Right.
Like, did
Yeah.
they tell you like that night or a few nights before? Oh yeah, you're gonna go out there. You're gonna go in front of John Cena's home state. You're gonna win his title that he just won.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't think it was much time before. It might have been the day before, maybe. Yeah, I'm not really sure how much time, but it wasn't a lot.
Yeah, the nerves. I'm sure there's a bunch of nerves before going out there, right?
Uh, I don't know. Maybe just more. I think more excitement than nerves. I'd done it for so long at this point.
Yeah,
But yeah, definitely. I'm sure there was some kind of. My dad always said if you don't get nervous when you go out there, then you need to move on. So yeah, you always have a little bit of nerves up there.
Now, I'm sure everybody's asked you a million times about the apple. Why did you choose an apple? Why not like a banana or something tropical?
I don't know if I chose the apple. That was just one of the vignettes that I did.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were old. They were old Razor Ramon ripoffs from when he was starting out. And one of those, it was a variation of that vignette where I think I don't know what he did. He spat some kind of fruit or something on some guy, and then in mine I was at a fruit stand and I
Yep,
just spat on the vendor's face.
that poor old
And I
man.
guess Vince saw that and he just loved it. I guess it cracked him up and he just wanted me to keep on doing it.
Oh, you were like, oh yeah, sure, I'll
Yeah,
hundred
no problem.
percent.
I'm the one that spits it. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
And you've done it ever since too. Like even still, I watched a match you did a few years ago. It was a joint show between House of Hardcore and I forgot the other one. I believe you were going up against somebody named JJ Black. I believe his name was. Um,
Maybe.
it was a charity show where it was like back in 2017. Um, and I mean, you did it then, and you looked incredibly in shape there too. And uh, you definitely had the crowd on your side as well. So how's that feel different? Like you were known as the bad guy, the heel for a long time. Now you go out there, you cheered every time that music hits. I'm sure now.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I'll get cheered, but the cool thing is I'll go out when whatever I do out there, they'll go with me. Like say, oh, he's back at it. All right, then let's boom, whatever. Or he's a good guy. All right, so they'll follow along on my adventure with me. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, always Carlito's just he's a likable bad guy, but he is a bad guy. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anything good about Carlito. You know, he's just a that guy that you kind of like.
Yeah, yeah, because it was watching that and seeing like the independent scene, like you were out there shaking everybody's hands, everybody was completely going nuts for you, and it was just a different side of Carlito than I was used to seeing on TV. But I said to you off camera before, I couldn't stand you, man.
Yeah.
You played the heel up, like you were insanely good at it, getting people to boo you. I mean, you gave Big Show a bad apple at one point. That talk show, you had a unique set for that. I'm kind of sad they didn't make a playset of that. The
I think I think
cabana
I think they did way back when.
way back when.
They might have made one. They made it one set like that.
Mattel, bring it back. They need to bring it back. But with that, everybody, let's go to chat. Everybody. So somebody wants to know what was it like to work with Ray Gonzalez, and what is it like winning the WWC Heavyweight Champion for the first time?
For the first time, now really going way back. Yeah, it's great. It's a legendary championship in Puerto Rico, and and in the wrestling world. A lot of big names have held that belt. So to add my list to that, when it's a belt that my father held, it was a great honor for me, and it was cool. I was young then, maybe been in my early 20s, maybe. So that was cool. Yeah, Ray Gonzalez, one of the best Puerto Rican wrestlers of all time. Great heel character. People. He's another guy that people will follow him with. They love to hate him, but they also love him. So they'll follow him on wherever he takes them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, would you prefer to? I always hear that like being the heel is a lot more fun to do, a lot easier to do. Is that correct?
I think it just depends on one's persona and like the character. You know what I mean? Like for me, yeah, as Carlito, like I said, he doesn't work for me. I don't know, he just doesn't work as babyface. He's a heel character. He can do
literally spitting in people's faces. Yeah.
Yeah. There's as a what do you call it? As your what do you call it? The genuine, sincere person. There's nothing about Carlito you should cheer. But it just makes you. I try to make you laugh. I try to do just dumb things out there, just to get to make people react to me.
And you definitely did. You had some moments with Hornswoggle that were interesting.
Yeah, those I remember some of those. Those were funny.
Yeah. How's your face from running into the wall, right?
Yeah.
I was just watching that last night. Just the old Wile E. Coyote trick.
Yeah, that was just dumb fun.
And you had Ron Simmons come up behind you. And,
I forgot that part. Yeah, I forgot. Right.
Now, you just obviously returned at the Royal Rumble recently, a few months. It was already almost, a month ago? Can you believe that? Like,
maybe like, when was it? Was it January? Man, almost 2 months now.
Time flies, man, doesn't it?
Let's go for it, yeah.
So what were you, did anybody else know you were backstage? Or, like, was it, like, a big surprise? Or, like, what's the atmosphere backstage there?
We tried to, not everybody knew. We tried to keep it as quiet as possible, but nowadays with the internet and stuff, I don't know how many people actually knew, but I think we did a pretty good job of not letting it out. I think not until like a couple hours before the show, it's kind of, but a lot of people still didn't know that was coming out. So I'm glad that they were able to give that people that surprise.
Yeah, because everybody wanted that for quite some time. Everybody was like,
bro, for I don't know how many years I get my annual. Every time the Rumble comes, I get the annual. Bro, you're gonna be in it this year? I'm like, no. Oh, come on, you're lying. I said, all right, well. I'll be home,
It comes and goes. Like, people looking through the windows. Is he really there? Like,
yeah.
So what made you choose like this year? Like of all the years you could have been there, or was it just them contacting?
It's the first year they asked me back. Really, you know what I mean? It wasn't up to me. It's the first year they asked me back to come be a part of the Rumble. So I was more than happy to get back in there.
No, yeah, you looked ripped too, man. Like you were ready to go.
I mean, that's the other weird thing. Like, people haven't seen me anywhere. I haven't been anywhere except WWE since I left. So, I said I've been like this a couple of years. So it's funny to me that people see, oh, you got in shape or whatever. So, well, I've been like this for a while.
This is normal. This is normal me. But so going back to young Carlito, like years ago, because like I said, I started watching for about 17 years ago, I got into it with the Hurricane. Actually, came to my mom's job at the corporate office of KB Toys, and like I was young, and he was there. Got to meet him. And then like I got into it. He was my favorite wrestler until he just kept losing. I'm like, what is this guy? So then that's when I got into. You can barely see him back there, but John Cena. You can't see him. Yeah, there's a joke right there. John Cena, this rapper gimmick, and then that introduced me to a whole new world. And then all of a sudden, you come along, and then just that big storyline, and then you returned again with John Cena in the ring. How did that was just like almost full circle, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was yeah, it's my nemesis, you know what I mean? But yeah, I learned a lot from him.
Everybody's gotta have one.
Yeah, you really gotta have one. Yeah, and it's if you're gonna have one, John Cena's the right guy to have.
Yeah, didn't you do a rap battle against him too at one point?
A rap battle? I don't know. I hope not, because I can't rap for.
I know he did a couple of them. I just getting mixed up between like I know Big Show did one in Angle, but I can only just
I don't know.
imagine
Yeah,
him with one of those hats that cut off the top.
I'll see like on Instagram stuff, some old vignettes that'll pop up here and there, and there's a lot of stuff I don't remember. It'll be so. I hope I didn't do a rap battle with him.
Did you know at the time, like when you said I spit in the face of people who don't like to be cool, did you know that that was just gonna be blown up and in your theme song and like
I didn't know. I didn't know. I don't get that all the time. Like do your catchphrase. I go, what's my catchphrase? Yeah, spit in the face of nobody. I never said officially that's my catchphrase, but yeah, apparently that's my catchphrase, I guess. Whether I want
yeah,
it or not.
like that's like as soon as that hits, it's like people know exactly who's coming out, and it's the big pop. Speaking of big pops, like when you return to the Rumble, obviously it wasn't in front of people like you would normally get when you go into the ring. How different was it just appearing in front of screens rather than the emotion people can get in person?
Yeah, it's a lot different to come out and just see like these flat screens. It's a bunch of you see a bunch of faces, but you can't really hear them because all the sound is piped in and stuff. So it was different. I was still fired up. I was still excited to be because I knew people were watching
Mhm.
and people hadn't seen me in a while. So I still wanted to go out there and put on a show. So yeah, it was different, but I was worried about that too. I was like, man, am I going to be able to get excited and fired up when there's no one out there? But luckily I was able to get excited to be out there in front of whatever was out there.
Now, like I would have been even more blown away if they're like, yeah, you're gonna go out there, you're gonna win this thing because you don't get a lot of surprises that like actually win. Like Carlito in the main event of WrestleMania this year would have been amazing. Like,
Oh, I don't know. After 10 years away, I don't know how.
they're
A lot
the
of
old
stuff,
guys,
yeah.
man. They would have loved seeing it. But yeah, is there any unfinished business with like I forgot who threw you out?
It was Elias.
A lot, of course, yeah. Then you were in a match with him on Raw the next time
Raw, yeah.
as a face with Jeff Hardy. How was that, by
That's
the
right,
way?
yeah. That was great, man. I know Jeff. I've known Jeff for a long time, man. Jeff's one of my best buds in this business. So it was cool to tag with him. Apparently, we tagged. People told me we tagged before, so it was cool to, like I said, come full circle and tag with him one more time.
Yeah. Everybody's asking about like the whole Chris Masters thing, the Master Lock Challenge, all that stuff. What was it like working with him?
That was great. It's one of my best buds still to this day.
Really? That's awesome.
We talk a lot. Yeah, he's one of my good buddies. It was great. I thought we could have done a lot more as a tag team. They split us up way too early because I thought our stuff that we did was really, really funny and we could have done a lot more.
I was just also watching last night, and I think one of your best promos that you've done. It was you and Primo. You guys were having a match. You cut through the middle of the match, and the emotion you had in that promo. I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about, but it was, I believe, on a SmackDown. You decided like you guys were the first ever unified tag team champions, and you're trying to convince him to be a tag team again.
I don't know. I don't remember this, but
but yeah, the passion you had in that promo was unreal. Like you can tell that there was a lot of emotion there, and like you compared to you, I put you up like there with the Miz, like that level of Are you friends with the Miz? Like, does he? You
Yeah,
guys talk or?
we don't talk that much, but when we see each other, we very cordial. We get along very well, and I have a lot of respect for Miz. I like Miz a lot, and I think he's had a great career. Say what you want about him, his haters or whatever, but I think he's done a great job, and he's actually one of the, you could say he's one of the best heels that there's been for the past couple of years. You know what I mean? He does a solid job, just going out there antagonizing people and doing what a heel needs to do is get hated by everyone.
Yeah, and I mean he just won the championship too not long ago. It still
That's
counts.
right. He's a two-time champ. Yeah.
It still counts. So what after eating thousands of apples, what would you say is your favorite type of apple now?
Favorite type of apple? I get a question asked all the time. What was your favorite? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Just
they all
anyone, right?
Good. Yeah, whichever one I can get my hands on and spit on somebody works for me.
Yeah, well, we noticed that was not there in the Rumble. Like I noticed you said something and pointed to your hand. Do you remember what you said?
Well, no, it's because of COVID.
Yeah,
of COVID.
Of course.
I was told beforehand very specifically not to spit the apple. That I'm not allowed to spit the apple. So yeah, I remember when I came out for the Rumble, I came out with the apple, but I couldn't spit it on. So yeah, I remember just walking out on Raw. Usually I come out with the apple, but
yeah,
I remember I had to leave it in the back.
I would have at least allowed you to take it and throw it at somebody. Like
I was thinking about it. I was like, if I can't, I don't want to get people's hopes up too high.
Yeah,
bring it out and not using it.
But then again, that could have been a big heel tactic. Like if you're just tease the heel move right there, just go to bite it, then can't do anything with it. Just oh nope, can't do it.
If it was a heel, maybe give me a little more.
Yeah, that wasn't the way it was. So, is there any more to do in WWE? Do you see yourself going back there? I know you probably get asked that hundreds of times.
Again, that's not up to me. I'm open to whatever, but I haven't been asked back. So it's not on me. I'd love to go back. If the circumstances are right, and we can work something out. I'd love to, but it's out of my hands. So who knows what the future holds.
And I know we've seen people go over there. What about any talks with AEW? Anything with that?
No calls to AEW. Like nobody calls me. It's weird.
Really?
I don't know if I've been blackballed or something. But yeah, nobody calls me. But at the same time, I'm not sitting by the phone either waiting. So if something good comes along, great. If not, then I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and it is what it is.
Scotty wants to know, how did it feel when you and Primo unified the tag team titles?
It felt great, man. It's like most little boys' dreams is to be in a WrestleMania, tagging with your brother after wrestling each other for so many years, to go out there in a WrestleMania and actually win the titles and be the first ever to unify them. I think that's great that it was my brother that did that with me.
Yeah, how are they doing, by the way? Because we don't really hear much from Primo or Epico or anything like that much anymore.
They're doing really good. Right now they're working on getting my dad's promotion back up and running. Because of COVID, everything shut down. So we're trying to find ways to put on shows. And that's what we're doing. They've been doing that for the past couple of months, but now we're trying to figure out how they can get people in there.
Yeah, man, respect to them too. Like with the whole Las Matadoras thing, and right before they did that for a while first, and then came back to their normal names, didn't they?
I think there were Colognes and the Shining Stars.
Yeah, they were.
Matadors. A couple of things.
Yeah. What is his favorite type of jelly bean? That's an interesting
jelly bean. That's the first one. I don't think I really eat jelly beans.
Spit them at people.
I'm the biggest jelly bean fan.
Apple flavor. There you go.
It was probably apple flavor, yeah.
Are you into the horror scene? Like you like horror movies or games or anything like that?
Yeah, I like all that stuff. I like all the all different kinds of genres of stuff.
Yeah. And what are you doing? Do you still do indie scenes, or do you still what do you do? What does Carlito do in his spare time?
In his spare time, let's see, train, play some NBA 2K.
NBA 2K.
What else do I do? NBA 2K, get some battles with the Chris Masters of all people. We get into some heavy battles. Yeah, and then do auditions here and there. I've done a little bit of acting in between. I do some indie shows on the weekend or signings, stuff like that. So
yeah, that's cool.
I try to keep myself busy.
That's cool, man. For everybody that doesn't know, I actually do a gaming channel on YouTube as well. Outside of this channel, I have a second channel. That's where I do all gaming stuff. Like I do, mainly it's been horror games lately, like
Okay.
Phasmophobia. Don't know if you ever heard of that one or not. It's ghost
No,
hunting.
I haven't heard of that one.
But like I used to be in like the NASCAR, the football. Um, Not much of NBA. I used to just my stepbrothers used to just tear me apart in it. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to play this no more. What's your team of choice?
My team of choice, man. That's like I tell everybody. I am. What do you call it? I'm a bandwagoner, and I have no shame in saying it. I was like, look, man. I was
Whichever
born and
one's
raised in
winning.
Puerto. Yeah, I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. There's no team there, so I feel like I have no affiliation in a team. Like I'm free to go wherever I want. And yeah, I know I'll as soon as a good team gets bad, I'll drop them quick and move on to the next one. But like right now, like I'm on the Nets.
Yeah.
I'm on the Nets bandwagon right now.
So what was it like going back to the Rumble? I'm sure the atmosphere in like the locker room was different from back in the day, like when you were there. We heard multiple stars talk about recently. We just heard Undertaker mention some backstage tactics on how he felt it is now compared to backstage. Do you have any similar thoughts, or is it completely different?
I don't know. I was only there,
Oh,
only there
2 days.
backstage for like 2 days. Yeah, so it's hard for me to assess. But it felt. I was telling people it felt new and it felt the same at the same time. It felt like the first 20 minutes it felt very different, but then after that I was like, man, it's kind of like the old days, like the same backstage people. Still a lot of faces that were there. A lot of the boys are still there, and then all these new faces. So it was a little bit of both. So yeah, so it was different, but at the same time, still the same.
And you get the people backstage that are like the producers and stuff like that aren't currently wrestling anymore. Like you get the same people that you saw back then as well, like in
Right.
the
There's still a
producer roles and stuff.
lot of the same producers are still there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Ask Carlito, who was the biggest jerk in the locker room?
The biggest jerk in the locker room? I don't know. Let me see. I don't know. I always enjoyed. I think I always got along with the jerk. So I don't know who. I don't know
Yeah.
who was the biggest jerk.
What was the real reason why you never appeared on Raw Legends Night?
Because I was supposed to appear, and then I think Hurricane went to them and said, "Why are we bringing them for Legend Night? Why don't we do something bigger with them? Why don't we bring them for the Rumble?" So then, yeah, they called me a couple days before. Said, "Man, instead of coming for Legend Night, we'd rather bring you in for the Rumble."
The
And I was like,
Hurricane,
"Great,
man.
that works for me. I'd rather do that too." So it worked out for everybody.
It's crazy to think of like what would have happened if you just came for the Rumble, because it would have been the Legends Night, because it would have just been for that, right?
It
With
would have
the
been probably just for that, yeah. So I'm glad. I'm glad. I was able to do the Rumble instead.
yeah, no, and I can only imagine like looking back at the Rumble. Everybody loves the Shockers, the big names that come back. Back then, like, did you obviously used to watch the Rumble and stuff like that, right? Like the same situation, like always watching to see who would come back, and to have your name on that list of everybody that came back. How cool is that?
Yeah, it was real cool, man. It was especially after 10 years, at some point they go, I guess they're never gonna call me back. So it was cool after 10 years to get a phone call and and still be able to go out there and look decent enough, you know what I mean? Not to come out there way past my prime. So I was glad I still have some left in the tank when I was called.
Yeah, you definitely that backbreaker finisher you have, man, is the cleanest backbreaker. I always love seeing you do it, and like can only imagine like I know obviously everybody knows about wrestling, like the rings. I give you guys 1,000% credit on going in there and the bumps and all that stuff that you guys do. It's not a trampoline. I mean,
I wish
people
it
think
was, yeah. I wish it was.
like I actually went to the last Mania that they were able to actually have fans at until this year. I was actually out there in New Jersey, New Jersey, and during the access, they let people get into the original WrestleMania 3 ring, I believe it was, and you
Mhm.
could go in it and take pictures and everything. And dude, even the ropes hurt. Like,
Yeah.
never stepping in a ring before, you're like, oh yeah, it's like a little trampoline. You're just gonna fall and you'll get right back up, no problem. And no, the ropes are like legit ropes, like wrapped in steel. It's no
It's the
joke.
weirdest thing because everyone that trains those first couple of days, their back will be all bruised
Yeah.
just from running ropes. It's weird. Or if you stop wrestling for a while and you get back in there, I mean, that happened to me. Like I think because of COVID, I hadn't wrestled in a while, and I got back in the ring after I don't know a couple months, and then the next day I'm like, why am I all bruised up? Like what the hell? You know what I mean? And I do it, and I realized, oh yeah, I was running the ropes and stuff. So it's just weird, man.
Yeah, yeah. And like I had a mark on my back for just going through the rope, like let alone going and running
Yeah.
on it. I can only imagine. How do I feel? We already answered that question, so if you want to rewind the video, you can certainly do that. Who would be the one to buy the apples for you? Like, did you have like an apple guy on like speed dial, like a Johnny Appleseed right there? Like,
Sometimes we need a runner, but most of the time it was up to me to bring or just the catering. They would have apples for me.
yeah, I bet the,
Yeah,
the the doctors love that, right? Like, or the dentist, like, what was it? Keep an apple a day keeps the doctor away,
apple
right?
day. Yeah.
Compared to like what? Like, it could have been entertaining. I'm curious on what it would have been like if you did that with bananas, like spit it and then throw it at them and have them
Ah,
fall on it, the peel.
yeah. Who knows?
But if you had a choice to do everything all over again, would you change anything at all?
Yeah, there's a lot that would change. You know, what I mean, I don't know why people say that when they go, "Oh, I wouldn't change." Well, if you wouldn't change it, you haven't learned anything. You know what I mean? Nobody did everything perfectly. You know what I mean? Or the other things are, I have no regrets. Well, then you haven't learned anything. You haven't moved on. You need to, everybody has regrets. Everybody's things, but it is what it is. I don't dwell on it.
Yeah,
I don't, like I said, I don't waste my energy on stuff that is out of my control. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, don't you ever? It's like, no, because it's already passed. So nothing I can do now. Whether I'm angry or sad about it, it's not going to change. Whatever. It's kind of like if you lost $100 bill in the middle of a field somewhere. It's like, well, it's gone. You can be mad if you want, but it's not going to change anything. So you might as well just move on.
live for the moment. Yeah, exactly. That's actually you should write that down somewhere. Put it on like a painting. Motivation by Carlito. What was your? Oh, okay, that's a good question. Who was your favorite person to work with in the ring?
Oh man, there's a bunch of names. I mean, it's a whole list of guys you could say. To point out one, I don't know, maybe I guess all the greats like Rey Mysterio, Shawn Michaels, who else? Shelton. It's a bunch of, I don't know, it's just a long list of great talents. But being there with.
Shelton Benjamin. We know he's currently on the roster, still doing his thing with the Hurt Business too.
Yeah.
Same with Bobby Lashley, like all that in MVP, like that. It's like
Bobby Lashley, another guy. Yeah, another guy's great. I don't know. It's not so much fun with Bobby Lashley because he hurts, man. just touching him hurts you. That guy's made of. I think he's literally made of steel.
That's why like that needs to happen. Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley. I think.
I think that's something that everybody would want to see.
Someone wants to know what you think of the Fiend gimmick.
Yeah, it's different. You know what I mean? It's I think it works. People like it. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be using all the time if it wasn't connecting with people. So like I said, I'm not one of those guys that you'll go out and complain about. Yeah, stuff is different and whatever. But it depends on. To me, it depends on the people. If the people like it, then who cares what I think about it?
Would you have let him done the mandible claw on you? If it was like on Monday?
It's my it's my job. You paid to do what they say. So that's what you
gotta
gotta do.
love
That's
it.
what you
Gotta
do.
love it.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, I'm not gonna put this guy over, or I'm not gonna lose, or I'm not gonna win, or any of that.
Plus me saying I'm not gonna do stuff I have to spat on people for. It's kind of like
That's a very fair point.
I was like, I don't think I'm allowed to say I won't take anything from anybody.
So to that vignette, like you said, you thought that would be the only time you would do that, right? Like you never thought you'd be doing that.
I never thought, that would be part of my part of my shtick. But I'm glad they suggested it.
Have you do you talk to that guy in that vignette again, or was that just like some random person? Like who was that?
I don't know if he's still alive. He was he was up there when I did those, so I don't even know if he's around anymore.
Yeah. And where were those shot at? Like
Miami.
Miami. Oh, really?
Miami. Yeah.
All in one day, or just like multiple?
I think all in one. I think we squeezed it all in one day. Yeah.
Yeah. You just do like one over here. Like how many times they couldn't have been all one shot, right? Like how many?
No, we did about We had to go to different places.
Yeah, yeah. How many times did you have to spit in that guy's face?
Oh, I don't remember. For his sake, I hope it was only once.
Yeah. Just, all right, nope, do it a little bit more. Projectile more. 5 more times. I seen that you did a TLC match a few years ago with Matt Hardy and Tommy Dreamer, which was amazing. Would you ever do another TLC match, and what are your ideal matches to do? Loaded question right there.
I actually, people always complain about TLC, but I actually like those matches because, you go in there, you take one bump, you rest for like 4 hours, you come back in, you take another big bump, So yeah, the next day you don't feel great, but you get through the match, you can do like half an hour,
Yeah, right.
basically doing nothing. So it's the only thing is the trade off is the pain you're gonna feel the next day, but
that's why tag team matches are so great, right?
Sometimes depends on who you are in the tag team. If you're the workhorse, or if you're the if you're the weak link.
Yeah, yeah. Oh well. Talking about match types, you were in the Elimination Chamber, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that Cena ended up winning and then losing his title right after, wasn't it that one?
Yeah, that's when they were Edge. I think Edge cashed in the Money in the Bank for the Money in the Bank was used for the first time.
You were in the final 2.
Yeah, I think it was me. It was a Masters, myself and Cena. I think I just eliminated Masters. I turned on him, and then Cena got me.
Which, like, how was it being in that structure? Like, obviously it's different than it was back then, but the actual original Elimination Chamber.
I think the glass was different. It was there was more steel and stuff. Yeah, it wasn't pleasant. It looked cool, but and taking a bump outside of that, and it was or just getting hit through that glass or whatever was pretty brutal.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, I have the OG, like, the playset of it that they let out, and, like, compared to, like, if they were to do one now, it's just, like, there definitely seemed like they added more padding to the outside, for sure, but...
Well, I think, for safety reasons, too, and for changes, some like, requirements change, they had to change the some of the features on it.
Yeah, to change up the weight, I believe, of it.
Yeah, something they had to change. Yeah, they had to change those. Yeah.
But so I was doing the research. You were a long time champion, yeah? Like you went for a good amount of distance being undefeated. I believe with the IC title, right? Before you had to you had an injury or something that you had to let go of it.
Yeah,
right?
that was the United States Championship. That was actually quite quick. I was a couple of weeks into the United States champion. I dislocated my shoulder.
Yeah.
So I was out for that's why that's how the cabanas came about. Because I just started, so they didn't want to take me off TV yet. So they're trying to find a way to keep me on. And luckily I could talk, so they ended up giving me the cabana.
That's why you had the shoulder sling. So see, now it's all lining up.
Right, yeah.
Because I remember I told you about that when we were off camera about the time I saw you live. You were outside shoveling snow. That all makes sense now. Yeah, you were in the shoulder thing and you were shoveling snow and somebody splashed you. Yeah, now that makes sense. But so if you never got hurt, like, did they say like what you were supposed to do, or was it something?
Who knows? Yeah, who knows what else?
Who knows?
Like, they don't know. Sometimes, they don't. Sometimes it's week to week, so you have no ideas. Or they could tell you something, but then the plans change. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what was in store for me. But I think it actually worked out better for me, injuring my shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you were able to get the talk show going and everything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to do. I was able to do more character stuff, which I always felt was my stronger side.
Yeah, your bodyguard.
Go out on TV and be just act stupid, which is works great for me.
The bodyguard with the stabbing of John Cena.
Jesus, man, Jesus, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, going out there, winning the title on your debut match against Cena in his home area with that chain, like, to me, like, I always sort of think, how would that work out now? Like, he would have never brought the chain to the ring because he wouldn't have had the chain. Like this Cena, like, it always, like, I think about that kind of stuff. Like, how would that have happened in this era? Like,
I would have to use his hat or his armband or something.
Just throw a shirt at him. The fans used to do that to him enough, right? But like, who do you see now, like, as the next star? Like, who would you say keep an eye on this person? Like, do you watch the product enough to know that, or?
Yeah, I try to watch when I can.
NXT or.
I try to watch. I try to watch them all. I'll
Yeah.
at least at least I'll DVR them so they everybody gets the rating point or whatever.
Mhm.
You know, I try to help out the business if you know how I can, whether I watch it or not. Like you know, even the terrible movies that the boys make, I watch them. Just I'll sit through them just to, you know, just to support them.
Yeah. Do what you gotta do. Yeah. That's the workhorse of it, man. That's the workhorse. Well, what do you think of the all the cinematic matches that they had to do due to COVID, or with Undertaker the last
Yeah,
thing he
yeah,
did?
nothing. You know, it's something different. You know what I mean? It's something that was needed. I think. You know what I mean? I think it helps out some of the guys that are up there. You know what I mean? Like, you know, helps them, you know, hide deficiencies. You know what I mean? And you know, and you know, I think I'm always up for something different, whether it works or not. It's you know, it's I'm always up for trying something at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I mean, it comes off pretty cool, like, and it definitely
Some of
helps.
them, yeah, some of them have been good, and then some of them have been, you know,
Iffy.
what they
What they
what they
were.
were.
I could have sworn we should have had one of you on the beach, like you or somebody on the beach, like right
I'm
there.
sure I could have done some stupid stuff. Yeah,
Throw something in the water.
yeah, that would have been pretty funny.
But yeah, like if you had to form like a tag team now, or like a stable, like who would you choose to be in it with? Like it could be any brand, like not just WWE, like any, like New Japan or Impact or anything else.
I don't know. There's all kind of there's all kind of things out there. You know, like I said, people said they'd want to see me in the Hurt Business.
Yeah,
I
I
would
can see
like to
that.
get.
I can see
That'd be
that.
kind of be cool. I would like to, you know, if not, I'd do like my own little Latino faction.
Yeah,
You know, some with Penta and Phoenix, or something with, you know, even Andrade and Garza, or you know, something, you know, with my brother,
that
my
would
cousin.
be
You know, it's
cool.
different things. You know, different things that could be done. You know, I think, yeah, something Latino would kind of be a little Latino faction, kind of be cool.
Yeah, that's what they're missing. They have their good tag teams, and they split them up, and they give the titles to the New Day. So I mean,
Oh yeah,
what was it like working with Shawn and Triple H?
yeah, man, it's great. You know, I see after working with Sean, I can see why they call him the best ever. You know, what I mean, he probably have my vote as, you know, at least he's in the top three at least. But yeah, you know, he's just that's just, you know, just an artist in the ring. And then Hunter, you know, Hunter's another great talent. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, it's cool to take, I guess, you know, take the pedigree.
Yeah, and you also worked with Ric Flair a little bit too.
Yeah, that's kind of cool because he wrestled my dad
Yeah,
a bunch of times back in the day. So it's kind of cool to wrestle the same guy my father did.
and that's who you dropped the IC title to, right?
So yeah, Nature Boy. I was the not only that. I mean, I remember I was the first guy to that he actually hit when he jumped off the top
Really?
in like 100 years. Yeah,
Hey, that's pretty cool. Like they can't take that away from you.
they can't take that. No.
What are you did go by Carly at one point, right? Way back in the day as a cameraman.
Back in the shaved head days. Yeah.
Yeah, thoughts on Impact?
Impact. Yeah, that's on. I DVR Impact too. They got a lot of great talent there too. A lot of guys. You know, they got like who's got the Moose. I think is a great talent. They got you know, Dreamer. I think knows how to run a locker room and run a promotion.
Yeah.
Who else they got? You got the Good Brothers. They got a bunch of talent there.
Now I see there's a lot of people. Me and my buddy Johnny Bates here will go back and forth with it. 6-sided ring or 4-sided ring?
I've been in a 6-sided ring too. I don't know. I'm more traditional. I'd probably go with the 4-sided ring.
Yeah, that was his argument there. That like you get trained on a 4-sided ring, you don't really get trained on a 6-sided that often.
And just visually, I don't know. Just visually, I just like the 4-sided ring.
Yeah. What was Eddie Guerrero like behind the scenes? Someone wants to know.
Oh, it was great, man. He it was very you know, he helped me out a lot. Took me under his wing, him and Mysterio. You know, so they always looked out for me. Always made sure I was doing okay. They always say, you know, always send your father my respect and stuff. So yeah, he was really, you know, it's everything they say he was.
Now I know this was asked a while ago. Scotty wants to know. Scotty's from I forgot what country. Like Ireland, I believe. Not Ireland. Scotty, you're gonna have to remind me, man. I forgot where you're from. But he wanted to know if there were like any backstage stories or secrets you were able to tell, or any funny moments like stuff
Yeah, I'm
that.
sure they were. I'm sure they are, but I'm not the biggest like backstage guy. I like still, to keep stuff within, you know what I mean, the certain whatever, you know what I mean? Especially if they're not, especially I don't know the other parties if they want those stories out. So
Yeah,
I
absolutely,
don't feel at
absolutely.
liberty to start telling stories and stuff. Yeah, but especially involve other people.
Scotland. That's where Sky's from. Sky's from Scotland. If you give, okay, here you go. If you could give any advice to someone breaking into business advice, what would it be? This is coming from Johnny Bates. He is a 15-year-old. He actually is starting out. He does a little bit of training himself.
Advice, yeah, my advice is more work on connecting with an audience than actual moves and stuff. I was like, guys, how this look? It look great, but wrestling is not really about the moves. It's about the story. You know what I mean? And then connecting with an audience. Yeah. The wrestling, yeah, of course it's important, but you use the wrestling to do that. The wrestling is the vehicle to tell the story, to connect with an audience. So it's yeah, you can do a pretty drop. It's great, but if that's all you got, then you're not gonna get that far.
Yeah, it's all about the emotion people get. Like, everybody saw, like, when Taker lost at the first time at WrestleMania. Everybody was... People still feel it now, and that's been years later. Like,
Yeah.
Like, if that happened just randomly, or, like, if there was no storytelling to it, it would have been like, Undertaker lost, so, okay. Like, it's the emotion people get.
Well, for years that was just it was kind of like unsaid another main event. You know what I mean? Because it was it was about the streak. It was like, all right, who's he putting the streak against this year? You know what I mean? And that was like that was always like a match I look forward to. You know what I mean?
Well, some people didn't want, like, I've heard, like, I don't know if they were all true, but there's people that didn't want to, like, told Vince, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to be the one that does it. Like, because no one wanted to see the streak end. Like if that was you that was put in the match, and they're like, yeah, Carlito, you're gonna beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania. Like, would you be kind of against it, or would you be like, oh yeah, nope, okay, that's what I gotta do. That's what they're telling me to do. Let's go for it.
No, that's what they want. I do it.
Yeah.
If you want to beat them out, that's fine with me. Yeah.
I love it. You
Plus,
gotta love
I think
respect
a lot of people, be angry at me for that. So I do want to even do it even more.
I love it. In 2005 WWE Draft, when did you learn that you were heading to Raw and leaving SmackDown?
Oh, that's good. That's another good. I don't know. That was a long time ago. I probably not. I think it was another thing where maybe the day of. I think or the night before. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of a heads up on stuff in those days. Probably still isn't now.
Bonniac Attack Sports Entertainment says, tell Carly I respect him even though I don't really know him.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, I guess, somehow.
Well, so yeah, you get a lot of the younger ones that are still like getting into the business, like know from like the PG era, or don't know like 17 years ago or whatnot. But like, how different, like, would Carlito work in the PG era, do you think? Like, spitting in the face and any of that stuff, like.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing to survive in this business is to adapt, and I think I think Carlito's a character that could adapt. There's certain things you can't do. There's a lot of stuff too that I'll see, like I said, on Instagram or something that'll pop up on my feed of old stuff that I did. And I was like, think about today's stuff. Like, oh my god, like I would have been canceled, like if I did something like that these days. It's kind of hard to look at sometimes. Like, wow, I can't believe I did that. So. Like I said, everything it's just adapt and everything changes, and just like the business, everything has to change at some point.
Yeah. Do you miss being on the road, being like going all over the place, like traveling? I mean, you do that now still, correct? Or...
I still do. Yeah, I still do it now. So yeah, I don't really miss it because I still do it. I might, now I think I go I travel more internationally now than I did before. So
just a lot less bumps.
It's kind of cool now because I also have a lot more time to see places. Before everything was just go. But now usually I have time and I get to go sightseeing. I get to, see different things I didn't really have time for.
People still run up to you, be like, "Hey, it's Carlito!" Like,
yeah,
don't spit on me.
Or I'll get the opposite. Like, man, will you spit on me? Or, can I pay you? So why would you want that? Why would you want to pay for that?
Especially now, like, yeah, no, like now you got to be a little bit more careful.
Especially now, yeah.
Will people still recognize you? Like, do you have like your logo as a mask? Like, that would be cool. Like, have the Apple mask.
No, I don't have any. I don't have. Somebody made, I think, for me, but I don't think they forgot to give it to me. Yeah, but I don't. No, I don't. I don't need any kind of attention like that. Yeah, usually when I'm out and about, I put on a hoodie and then I put the mask on. I'm pretty
Private person type of deal.
I said, I give guys a props because he recognized me today at Home Depot. Yeah, I couldn't believe it too because I had on my hoodie, I had my mask. It's like, you can only see this. He goes, Carlito? Like, oh, okay. Wow. I thought I was incognito, but I guess not.
Yep, I'm Carlito. Yeah. That's great, man. That's great. We already talked about that, Bates, as well. So I always ask my guests that come on here, and it's always interesting what they have to ask. So I always ask, do you have anything that you want to ask me? Flip the script a little bit.
Anything that I want to ask you?
Yeah, any type of question at all.
Not really. I just met you, so I don't even know. I do have a question about that thing in the back. Is it that's the robot? Is that Cena? What is that in the back?
So it's an animatronic I bought because I'm a huge horror guy. Like for everybody that doesn't know, my real name is Jason. So I love all the Jason movies. We have every single year we go all out outside and have this is just the first the one of them. We have 6 other type of animatronics that we have to just really just scare the people outside. And the lights, I'm a DJ too, so I have the lights. He does move.
Wow.
I don't have him plugged in, but
oh wow, okay.
For the right reason, because like I said, I play ghost hunting games after at 11 o'clock at night. So if I'm just talking to the game and it starts moving behind me, yeah, something's gonna get knocked over. But I also work at a haunted house every single up until last year because I couldn't do it.
Right.
And just jump scare people
I see.
So that's where that comes from.
You said you had Cena behind you. I thought maybe that was like a Terminator Cena or something.
No, I just have a little plushie of him sticking out of his neck, and Finn Balor's up there. Got the Money in the Bank.
Okay.
Yeah, the little plush toy.
Oh, okay.
And of course, I got the title. The title's autographed by a couple of people. Jeff Hardy ended up meeting him at Access too. He ended up. I asked him, "Hey Jeff, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm just doodling." He took up this much room on the belt.
Yeah, he'll do that. A lot of times we'd come back from hanging out or something, we'd be on the road, and you just see Jeff with some fans just drawing pictures for him. He's that type of spirit, man.
Yeah, just going on doing his own thing.
He lives in his own world, man.
Well, hey, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I really do appreciate you stopping by. This was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, man.
And where can they find you at? Where Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere?
I just got my Twitter back. It's been hacked or stolen by somebody, but I just got it back. But my my Twitter and my let's see, what's it on Instagram? My Twitter and Instagram is @LitoCologne279.
And same with
and then there's 20 Facebooks of mine, but I don't run any of those, so don't follow on Facebook and don't message me complaining that I don't answer you on Facebook. I'm like, bro, I don't know who you're talking to, but that's not me.
Facebook.
So yeah, the only two I have is Twitter and Instagram.
You don't do the MySpace or
TikTok or no, I don't know how to dance, so no, I don't do any TikTok. And I'm not the biggest social media fan anyway, so the thing that you just be happy I have 2 of those at least, Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, so give him a follow, guys. Go over there on Twitter, go on Instagram, give this guy a like, give him a follow, or you're not cool, right?
Exactly.
All right. Hey, I appreciate your time, man. Thanks for joining. Thanks for everybody watching, and we will see you in the next interview. We will be interviewing Lita shortly.
All right. Thanks, man.
Have a great night, guys.